We are ready to start our regularly scheduled board meeting. Sorry, by law, I'm required to read this. The regular meeting of the Judson Board of Trustees hereby called to order at 7:15. I am very pleased that you have taken time to join us this evening. As the Judson Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals and policies and oversee the management of the district. We are responsible for approving budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and to listen to reports from the superintendent. We are not here to make administrative or management decisions pertaining to the daily operation of the district. This is the responsibility of the superintendent. In compliance with state government code on open meetings, tonight's agenda has been appropriately posted. This is a meeting in public, not a meeting of the public. As our guests, you are welcome to observe and listen. These proceedings are being video and audio recorded and will become part of Judson's permanent legal record. In order that the tape adequately reflects these proceedings, please silence your mobile phones and refrain from talking while others are speaking. Since it is legally mandated that these proceedings are recorded accurately, I may have to ask for order periodically should I notice that disruptions are interfering with our recording capabilities. Once again, the board extends to each of you a sincere welcome. Thank you for your interest in the Judson School District. We have an established quorum. I will take roll call. Mr. Flores.
President, thank you for being here.
Mr. Sellier.
Present. Thank you for coming.
Ms. Williams.
Present, thank you for being here.
Mr. LaFoyle.
Welcome and thank you for coming again.
Ms. Adair.
Good evening. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Macias.
Welcome and thank you for being here.
I am Arnoldo Salinas. I'm the board president. Dr. Mackey. Present. We will now have an invocation by Dr. Mackey, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Would you please bow your head? Our Father in heaven, we want to thank you once again for granting us the opportunity to meet as a team of 8 and board. Thank you for everything that you're doing for us, oh Lord. Thank you for all the blessings on this election. You've blessed us, Lord. You've blessed us with a wonderful board. You've blessed us with a wonderful bond. Thank you for all the things that we're doing to help kids. Without you, Lord, we know that we cannot do it. So with you, we can do all things, and we can make all things possible. Lord, thank you for all the many blessings that you have taken care of all of our students. Thank you for our armed services and keeping them out of harm's way. Thank you for taking care of the people in West ISD. Lord, they need you. Please bless them and grant them with the things they need in order to move their community and their district forward. Lord, thank you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge. I'm sorry, the covers and then the pledge.
I'd like to introduce to you our pledge leader for tonight. It's Catherine Dryden. Catherine, come on up. She's a third grader from Rolling Meadows Elementary. Catherine and 3 other TAG students participated in the Destination Imagination competition this year and were the youngest and only Judson team to make it to the state level competition in Katy, Texas. Catherine has 4 other siblings who are also a part of the Judson family, and when not at school, Catherine enjoys reading, swimming, hiking, and pretty much anything involved being outdoors. Let's join Catherine in the Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. and Texas flags.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Enter 8. Right. 8. Over. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You may be seated.
We have the recognition of the board from Humboldt County.
Stay right there. And let's give Catherine a nice hand. She did a great job, and I'd also like to recognize her parents, Sean and Mary Dryden, who are present here this evening. Thank you for being here. Okay. And I'd also like to recognize our color guard for this evening, coming to us from Judson High School. First of all, Cadet Colonel Kyle Rodriguez, Cadet Captain Austin Merieros, Tech Sergeant Abigail Gritton, and Tech Sergeant Stephen Clark. And I'd also like to say a special thank you and recognize the leaders of our bond committee. They did an awful lot of hard work. You want to do that last? Okay, all right. Well, let's move on then to a couple of our musical recognitions. First of all, we wanted to recognize the musician that is a student at Judson High School and has been a member of the school's top concert band since her freshman year. She has been selected as one of the state's best clarinetists by being named to the Texas Music Educators Association All-State Band. Please welcome Sarah Seagraves. Now, Sarah was the featured soloist in both the marching band show and UIL concert competition. She first learned clarinet while attending Kitty Hawk Middle School, and this is her second time to make the All-State Band. She is also a member of the Judson High School Choir, and Sarah's director at Judson High School, of course, is Mr. Daniel McDonald. She is the daughter of James Seagraves. James, could you stand up? Let me take a quick picture. All right. Let's do both of the tuba player and both of them at the same time. Sorry, I apologize. Then our next recognition has distinguished himself at Wagner High School as being the best on his instrument in the entire state. Please welcome Frank John. Now, Frank has been selected to the Texas Music Educators Association All-State Band by playing tuba. Not only did he make All-State, but this is his third time to reach this level, and this year he is first chair, meaning he is the best at his instrument. He is the student of Dr. Janet Tracy, and his band director is, of course, Mr. Keith Witt. Frank is the son of Jimmy and Lisa John, and I believe he has a sister, Jessica, who is here this evening as well. Could you stand? All right, our next board recognition comes from Kitty Hawk Middle School. Students from Kitty Hawk recently competed at the State Skills USA Leadership and Skills Contest in Corpus Christi. They had 10 students that went to that contest with 5 projects, and they did very well. I'm going to name some of the students off here, so if you would just kind of hold your applause here at the end. First of all, Sarah Stotzenberger. She entered a port swing, first place in district and first place in state. Josh Walker's fire pit also took first place in district and in state. Kyle Fay's four-wheel steering wagon won first place in district and state. And Kendra Smith and Sarah Friesenhahn also entered a first place fire pit in district and state. Drew Rader, Haley Clark, and Maya Stout entered a Harley-Davidson grill, winning first place district and state. Also, the team of Kendra Smith, Sarah Friesenhahn, Drew Rader, and Haley Clark, Maya Stout, Mackenzie Pineda, and Michaela D'Antoni participated as the opening and closing team and played first in district and first in state in the exploratory division. Kendra Smith won first in the writing contest, and Michaela D'Antoni and Sarah Friesenhahn took honorable mention. Their instructor is Mr. Julian Acevedo. Congratulations to them. And before they get away, Mr. Acevedo. He has been mentioned here because of at the Region 4 Association for Career and Technology Education, the ACTE conference in Oklahoma City. He was awarded the Outstanding Teacher in Community Service for 2012-2013. That encompasses the region of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. Mr. Acevedo's community projects include the Fisher House Project Graduation and the San Antonio Food Bank. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, our next recognition comes from Kitty Hawk as well. This time it's the FCCLA group. That stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. Jose Gonzalez received a silver medal in etiquette, which is a leadership opportunity test. Jose, can you come on down? Again, he's from Kitty Hawk, and he received a silver medal in etiquette in this state contest. And along with him, Audrey Viado received first place in applied technology. It took the students many hours of study and research for the past 7 months to complete their projects, and Audrey is now a candidate to travel to Nashville, Tennessee this summer for the 2013 FCCLA National Conference. Their teacher is Miss Victoria Rakatamanga. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much. All right, our next recognition is coming to us from Judson High School. The dental and CNA certified nursing assistant interns from Judson High School competed in the Texas HOSA state competition in Galveston. They were able to compete alongside other high school and college students throughout the state. They are Erica Smathers, Jonathan Moreno, Josie Estraka, and Genesis Garcia. They each participated in the National Recognition Program, where their achievements, community service events, and use of technology gave them the opportunity to advance to the Nationals, which will take place in Nashville, Tennessee, from June 25th to the 30th. Congratulations to all of you. Could we have the parents of these students stand up for a moment, if they are here? Actually, all the parents that are still here that we've recognized so far. Okay, thank you very much. Our next recognition comes from Judson High School. Judson High School is proud to present the first high school radiology internship program in the entire country. The members of Timberly Richardson, Jerry Moore, Demetria Samuel, Armando Garza, Mary Riuda, Jessica Morano, Jordan Leaker, Laura Reniger, Orlando Garcia, Julia Marcano, Priscilla Sanchez, and Patrick McKnight. Just to tell you a little bit about this program, it's designed to well equip the students with the knowledge and skills to become successful radiological technologists. They recently completed a strenuous 2-day exam that included a 200-question test, hands-on hands-on skill assessment, and the radiology interns scored very well on this exam with a 100% passing rate and a 97. And they had a 97% class average, making them the youngest in the radiology career field. Their teacher is Mr. Michael M. Ray. Okay, and thank you very much. And we have the parents here. Could they stand up, please, as well? Thank you very much for being here. And, of course, we have another recognition from the world of track and field. You may have heard about this one here lately. The Judson High School track team brought home the school's first ever state track championship up in Austin. And just so you know, the guys that are here tonight, I believe they're all here, but Jalen Lewis, Cameron Johnson, Brandon Sanders, Jerome Gatewood, Angelo Gordon, and Trey Flowers were on that state team. So thank you very much for being here. And parents, could you stand up as well? Thank you all very much for being here. Now, also understand that we have a representative, Mr. LaFuente, who is coming here on behalf of Congressman Henry Cuellar's office to make a special presentation as well.
Good evening, Dr. Mackey and members of the school board. My name is Gabriel LaFuente. I'm with the Outreach Coordinator for Congressman Henry Cuellar here in San Antonio. And we'd like to present this plaque certificate to your coaches and track team. And it reads like this. This is a congressional certificate of recognition This certificate is presented to Judson High School Boys Track 2013 in honor of winning the track and field 5A state championship, a feat that hasn't been done in San Antonio. I stand corrected, Dr. Mackey. I got this out of the newspaper. It may have been wrong. In 44 years. Congratulations to the coaching staff and the Rockets in facing the test of endurance and coming out victorious. And lastly, I'd like to bring about this quote. Ending on a quote from a great high school track coach. When the chips are down, Judson competes. That's a quote from Coach Ron Fout.
I can take a picture.
Yes, take a picture. Representative, take a picture with the team.
I want to tell you something, this is a pretty good track coach in his own sense. I can say. He was a damn.
Make sure the cameraman don't leave until all of these pictures are taken like right now. Okay. Yeah, he's got to stay here and get all his gun recognition. Take pictures of it. I can tell they get upset because he left.
Okay.
He's got to be taking pictures of this.
All right. Okay. I will let him know.
We have two individuals. They please come forward. Number one, our treasurer for our bond is Shannon Brown. And our president of the bond is Roland Hinojosa. I didn't see him here. I like to thank Miss Brown because when she's on our Judson Education Foundation, she helps us raise money for our foundation. So I gave her a call one day. I said, Miss Brown, I said, we really need your help. And she said, what can I help you with? I said, well, we need a treasurer because someone that knows all the laws and things, and she owns her own home health care business, very successful. And I asked her to be on the bond, the treasurer of the bond, because she knows all the laws. She said, Dr. Mackey, I will take care of that. I was very pleased about that. And then Mr. Kirshner called Mr. Hinojosa because he's on a board committee, and Mr. Hinojosa stepped up and said, I'll be more than happy to serve on the bond committee. And I remember the first time I met Mr. Hinojosa, I met him a couple of times on the committees, but we met one morning and we talked about a plan and what we need to do to pass the bond. And Miss Brown and Mr. Hinojosa said, this is for kids, they need it, these are overcrowded schools, and we're going to do everything we can to help you all. And so they started holding meetings and started getting donations throughout the city to raising funds to get the signs and all other things, block walkers and all other things. She was they were in charge of this, and I thought they did a super job with help passing this bond with the mayors, the pastors, and all the other community members that they helped gather and brought aboard. And without you all out there in the community, right out here in the audience, your support and what is needed to help kids with 3 or 4 overcrowding schools, we cannot say enough, and we cannot thank you all enough for everything that you all done, because we need it. We are behind. We have a high school that's 3 years to build, an elementary that's going to take 1 year to build. There's a possibility that we could be up to 4,000 at the high school before we finish it. We had a meeting this morning at Converse for the elementary school. I just found out they're putting 400 homes over there where we put in the elementary schools. shocked me. I didn't even know about it, and they say additional homes are coming. So we're really going to be working. They have volunteered to continue to be a part and be the committee.
Continue to raise awareness and continue to get into the community. A lot of parents aren't as involved as the parents that are here tonight, and we want to continue to reach out to those parents. So if you see me standing on the road holding a sign,
Yeah.
don't go by, and getting the students involved, because they're the ones that really suffer. My daughter goes to Judson. We moved here from a high school that had 700 kids. So she kind of had culture shock. And I kept telling her, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. Then I showed up at her school in a passing period, and I went home and I told her, you know, I am so sorry that I didn't believe you. And then I realized that I can't complain if I don't step up.
And she is so right. But let me tell you what, you don't know how much work this lady has put in, and how much time and how much of her business employees' time that have put in to helping us. And we want to thank her very much. We cannot use district funds to thank them, so I went out to the mall today and I selected some cards. So please forgive me. I selected some cards for Ms. Brown and Mr. Hinojosa to thank them for all the things they've done. Thank you all so much.
This is one of the things that I enjoy when we bring all these students for recognition, and congratulations to all those students again. Oh, sir, you know that it's positive. They won't show up for anything that's positive. Okay. Oh, acknowledgement of visitors and citizens to be heard. Let me read this before we do that. Acknowledgement of visitors. This is time provided for citizens to address the board on issues or concerns. A person may speak one time for a period of 3 minutes. Presentations shall be informative only. No board action shall be taken. Will be taken. A complaint or charge against an officer or employee of the district is not allowed in open session. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. The officer shall determine whether a person who wishes to address the board has attempted to solve a matter administratively. If not, the person shall be directed to the appropriate policy to seek resolution before bringing the matter to the board at a subsequent meeting. Citizens wishing to receive a response from concerns presented to the board must provide written documentation. The board shall not deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. We have several okay. We have Mr. Steve Brown, counsel from Converse. We have a newly appointed councilman, Joe Gustella from Converse. We have our Mayor Suarez from Converse. And we have Mayor Daley from Selma. Do we have any other elected officials that I might have missed? Thank you, gentlemen, for being here this evening with us. We have several people that have signed up to speak before the board. I believe I had already called Ms. Marilyn McKinney, direct deposit. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to address you regarding the issue of direct deposit. You're being handed an email that went to most of your employees recently, if not all, stating that by 2013 December, all employees will be required to have direct deposit. Currently, only about 200 employees in the district don't have direct deposit, and I will admit I am one of them. The savings to this plan are minimal. As I've stated, only about 200 people, employees, and they're mainly the hourly individuals, don't have direct deposit. And it's because of the financial burden represented by having the requirement of having a bank account. I find it somewhat intrusive of a quasi-governmental agency, which you are as a school district, requiring me, in effect, to have a bank account, which you are by requiring me to have direct deposit. Oh, no, I don't have to have direct deposit. You can be paid with a pay card that you can use at any ATM. I believe it's my understanding that to use an ATM, you have to have a bank account. So whether you are requiring me to have a bank account for direct deposit or you are going to require me to be paid with a pay card, indirectly, you are requiring me to have a bank account. And I found that incredibly intrusive, first of all, on the part of a quasi-governmental entity, which a school board is, and secondly, I have real problems with having a joint account, which I will discuss later, with my employer. If you look at the second page, paragraph 2 states that you can put in funds and you can also take out funds. Hence, it becomes a joint account. In principle, I have a real problem with that. Folks, it's my money. I earned it, and you shouldn't have a finger in the pie once I've earned that money. But if you can put it in and you can take it out, it's not my money anymore. You still have strings on it. Secondly, in that same paragraph, it says, if you make a mistake, you're not liable for it. I have to pay for it. So if you put the decimal point someplace incorrect, my bank account, and all of a sudden it's going to be my bank account that you have access to, I have to pay for the penalties. Not you folks, even though it's your mistake. I have a problem with that. And you should too. You folks, as a district, make mistakes with numbers. I know this. You may have errors in CBA scores. You have errors in student enrollment in programs. And 1 month, when I was working at Franz Elementary, you deposited $1 million in Ed Franz's bank account. The poor man almost had heart failure. I don't want to put myself in that kind of position with you. I respect you. Some of you I admire. Some of you I like, but I don't want to have a joint bank account with you.
Ms. McKinney, your time is up. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I though present just a short solution to what I would like you to do?
Okay,
I would
go ahead.
ask
Go
that
ahead.
you grandfather the current employees and permit them not to have this requirement placed upon them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, by the way, we have Mayor Dennis from Live Oak who has joined us. Thank you for being here, ma'am. Miss Meltonia Jenkins, class size.
Dr. Mackey and President, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity as a parent to address you. After all the talk tonight about the schools being approved and all that, I am so grateful. So I want to say thank you before I talk about class size. Seems like now maybe I shouldn't say anything, but since I already drove here and wrote out a good speech, I will. Again, my name is Meltonia Jenkins, and I'm a parent. I have 2 children in the Judson District at Woodlake Hills Middle School and Hartman Elementary. I just want to talk about class size. I mean, you hear a lot of things on TV, newspaper, and just around town about increasing of the class sizes next year. Even though we have new schools go up, I just wanted to talk about that. I retired last year from the military, and I volunteered at Hartman, and I see all these wonderful teachers. They're mentoring, and they're trying to keep control of their class, and they're entertaining and doing all that in a jam-packed classroom. And the mere thought of adding one more student to another class is just baffles me. I try to do what I can, but I appreciate them and I respect them. And as a service member, I was like, wow, looking at them, I would rather go back to war than to do what they do and to try to keep control and be as professional as they are. So I have to say thank you. I have a child who's having academic issues, and they spend all this extra time emailing me from their house at night and telling me about these issues, and because I know they don't have time during the day because they're so bombarded with all the kids that they have to take care of. So I just wanted to mention for anybody, and let me not say that, just wanted to mention and say that class sizes, I mean, I know you're all aware as well as I am about the class sizes, and I would just appreciate, and I know they would, if we wouldn't go up at all. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Kim Philpott, Hartman Elementary. Did I pronounce that right, ma'am? I'm sorry. Thank you.
My name is Kim Philpott. I am a special education teacher at Hartman Elementary, and I reside in the district. I represent 24 members of American Federation of Teachers at Hartman, and I have a petition signed by 46 teachers, as well as many more in support, requesting communication and input in the decision-making process of changing the student-teacher ratio from the current 1:22 to 1:24 in grades 2 through 4. We would like open dialogue without retaliation. We had a staff meeting on April the 8th and were presented with a PowerPoint from Human Resources informing us that the district planned to consolidate classes. We have also been informed of the plan for the proposed Pashal bilingual students. Both of these decisions would eliminate 10 to 11 teaching positions at our campus. The announcement of these decisions has created panic, fear, and negatively impacted staff morale. These are coworkers, friends, and professionals with college degrees who have bills to pay and families to feed. We are busting at the seams at Hartman, and we agree that we do need to find a way to make a little breathing room. But while TEA has made it a legal practice for districts to apply for waivers, increasing class size is not in the best interest of learning for our students. Best practice at a Title I campus with a high population of struggling students, many with documented disabilities, is smaller class sizes. If you cut teachers before the October count and we end up needing to hire more staff, then we will already have lost teachers who knew our campus, our students, our school culture, and worked in grade level teams, meaning we will have to start over training teachers who may have less experience. and this hurts our students. It's not the best way to start off a new school year. We have houses being built on both sides of our school, a mobile home park across the street, and wooded areas that will probably be developed at some point. There is absolutely no way to predict how many lots will be sold, built upon, and if the families who move into those homes will have school-aged children who will register at Hartman. Making decisions for the next school year at the end of this year while we are still focusing on STAR state assessments and preparing students for the next grade level seems very premature. It makes more sense to wait until registration numbers come in at the beginning of the year in September before cutting staff in April. I'd like to specifically ask you to consider the percentage of students who are in programs such as special education, dyslexia, 504, and RTI. Those students require meetings with data to justify what accommodations are being given for their success. Accommodations such as small group, oral administration, and extra time should all be given on a daily basis. Increasing class size means limiting the individual attention that these programs were geared to provide. In elementary school, we're building a foundation for successful learning, and we feel compelled to be here tonight to advocate on behalf of our students. Putting more students in the classroom when we have students who are struggling and require accommodations is not in the best interest of our kids. Thank you to the Judson Board of Trustees and Dr. Mackey for your time and consideration, and I do have the petition if you would like to see it. Thank you.
Thank you. Meredith Hinojosa, Hardman Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Meredith Hinojosa, and I'm a third grade teacher at Hartman Elementary and have been for the past 6 years. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Board of Trustees and to Dr. Mackey for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you this evening. I'm coming before you this evening to voice my concern, as were the other teachers and parents representing, about the proposed 24-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio for next year for 2nd to 4th grade. Upon doing some research on this matter, I found several articles discussing the benefits of the reduced class size on student success. I also discovered another piece of information from our very own Texas Education Agency's website that I would like to share with you this evening. And it states, the provisions and requirements of class size waivers as required by Texas Education Code, TEA 25.112. Each school district in Texas is required to conduct a class size enrollment survey for kindergarten through grade 4 no later than September. If the survey indicates that any class for grade K through 4 exceeds the allowable class size limit of 22-to-1, the district must submit the class size waiver request or form as a copy of a current compliance plan that has been approved by the local Board of Trustees. The plan must include the name or names of campuses, campus rating, grades, and number of sections exceeding the 22-to-1 class size ratio, steps to be taken to bring the district back into compliance, timeline for completion, and any new efforts or progress towards compliance. And that was last modified in October of last year. Knowing that our district stresses the importance of making data-driven decisions, I would just like to inquire as to the data behind making this decision in particular. Speaking and dovetailing on what Ms. Philpott mentioned, our students deserve the best and deserve all of our time and effort. And I feel that adding more students to our classroom would potentially take away the time and effort we would be able to place for each of those. Obviously, we definitely respect the decision that you ultimately are in charge of making. I just wanted to bring it to your attention and appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Babs Giles, are you still here? Oh, thank you, sir.
I'm speaking without notes, so I hope I don't ramble on this. But once again, congratulations on the bond, and 251 to go, and counting. But nevertheless, once again, I mean, everybody knew going into the bond that there's a lot more work that needs to be done. And as was mentioned by Dr. Mackey, the situation at Judson is still pretty critical, and it's going to remain critical for 3 years. With that in mind, whatever can be done in the interim to relieve that, probably needs to be done at all deliberate speed, including, and not necessarily limited to, maybe even having another bond in a year or so, another limited type bond like what we just had, that would be reasonable and doable, that would involve maybe some additional elementary campuses or some other grade configurations that would ultimately relieve or provide some relief in some form or fashion. And then finally, of course, with respect to the high schools, based on the demographic studies, it pretty much still shows that both Wagner and even with the Evans Road campus, Judson and Wagner are still going to need some additional final capacity to accommodate build-out, and with the way things are continuing to grow, that might be sooner rather than later. In addition to the fact, in order to continue to meet some additional educational needs and desires and also requirements, there might be a need for some additional facilities of some sort at both Judson and Wagner. And then finally, with respect to Wagner, there hasn't been any major additions or modifications to that particular campus since it opened, and will shortly be going on 10 years since it opened. And so hopefully now that this particular bond is passed and we have a considerably better idea on where we're going, hopefully that'll also give us a little bit of time to think a little more calmly about the next step on taking care of some issues that everybody still pretty much knows is out there that needs to be addressed, and hopefully, like I said, sooner rather than later. Like I said, you just get done having a bond, and I come up here saying, "Oh, I'd like to have another bond in only another year," but if we could still maybe have something before too long, it would probably be helpful, as long as it's something that appears to be doable and that obviously the community could support in some way. But that's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Giles.
Thank you.
Time is up. Mayor Suarez.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Mr. President, board members, Dr. Mackey, ladies and gentlemen, I come here today on behalf of the Northeast Partnership and the mayors of the Northeast MetroCom to thank you for your support in the bond that just passed, and thank the voters for their support, for investing in the children in something that's well needed. I want to thank Dr. Mackey for his leadership. 3 days after the bond, today we met together with the whole entire city staff, the city converse, to get the new school on track as soon as possible. So thank you very much for your leadership, Dr. Mackey, and most importantly, thank you guys for supporting. And I just would like to see you guys work together. I really would. We do it in converse, and you guys could do it too. So please work together and think of the children, the hard decisions that you're making. And on a side note, I'm here to report that the JECA program does work. Last night my 18-year-old son received his associate degree from Northeast Lakeview. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Mayor Daley.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for letting me speak. Again, I have to reiterate what my colleague, Mayor Suarez said. Congratulations, Mr. Macias, Mr. Salinas, Mr. Flores, on you getting reelected. It's a lot of work. I'm glad you guys wanted to come back on here and I wanted to keep going. And Mr. Floyd, well, you aren't running. But I also want to thank everybody, especially Mr. Kirshner, for all the hard work that you put into the bond. Okay, I'm a lucky mayor. I had both sides, both Guadalupe County and Judson passed schools bonds, which is great for all the children. I'm happy that the parents are back on track, saying this is a yes thing for our kids. It really am. I'm really thinking that now it's time, like this gentleman said here, we're ready to take on any challenges that the future is going to bring up, future bonds. Okay, you know that you have the support now of a lot of people that believe that now it is the children that we have to worry about. And I'm glad that you guys are all back here and you're back in your positions and you're back ready to fight for the children and help us on. Okay, I know I've come up here before and I've said some things but it was things that are from my heart. And I want to tell you guys that I know that you guys support everything that we believe in, okay? The mayors, the citizens, and the residents of this community, because we want our children to get a better education. So I want to thank you all, again, for all the tremendous work. And I know that you only had a few minutes to dance. I can hear it already. Everyone's already got the new things that they want you to do. You guys had a few minutes at night to celebrate, whatever. I'm glad you had a few minutes, because you know what? The job is really hard. Everyone has all these complaints. Everyone knows. And for you guys to want to come back on the school board and to take on all the issues that these people came in front of you, I give you a big, like this. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Dennis.
Good evening, Dr. Mackey, Board President, and the board members. Thank you for your service, first of all, because I know it is a thankless job, but thank you for the commitment that you've made to our community. And I want to say to the voters, because you are the ones that have made this happen, that thank you for thinking about our kids, because they are now our future. So thank you very much. And Live Oak is behind you 110%, and so is the Northeast Partnership, and we are here to help in any way that we can facilitate in making sure that the bond goes the way that it does, because that's going to help build our credibility for our next one. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 4, consideration of consent items. I will read the item, and if you want to pull the item, just let us know. A, consider and take action regarding approval of board minutes for the regular board meetings held on January 17th and April the 18th, 2013. B, consider and take action regarding approval of monthly financial information as of April 30th, 2013. C, consider and take action regarding approval of budget transfers across functions. D, consider and take action regarding approval of expenditures equal to or greater than $50,000. E, consider and take action regarding approval of construction procurement method for water service for Evans Road property. F, consider and take action regarding approval of construction procurement method for Paschal Elementary School portable classroom infrastructure development. G, consider and take action regarding approval of request for proposals 13-17 for the annual financial audit. Consider and take action regarding approval of board resolution to extend the bank depository contract with J.P. Morgan Chase Bank through June 30th, 2015. I, consider and take action regarding approval of statement of impact submitted by Southwest Preparatory School District, Southwest Winners Foundation. We have a, thank you, sir. We have a motion. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Williams. We will be voting on A, B, C, D, G, and H. Discussion. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All those in favor of the motion signifying by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. Motion carries. E, consider and take action regarding approval of construction procurement method for water service for Evans Road property. Ms. Adair. Motion by Ms. Adair, second by Ms. Williams. Discussion.
Dr. Mackey, if you could explain the construction procurement method.
The construction procurement method is a competitive seal proposal that is kind of a hard bid that we have to run a water line from Nacogdoches to the Evans Road property.
Any other? Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead.
So it's competitive, and I guess it goes through the procurement process, and it's ranked, and all the other usual procurement.
Yeah, that's the competitive seal proposal is a ranking that we do, and yes.
Okay, just wanted to clarify if that's what my interpretation was.
Yeah.
I've seen that correctly.
Anytime there's two things. There's a competitive seal proposal, which is a hard bid, and it's construction manager at risk, where the architect and the contractor work together. we're looking for a hard bid, one bid. And that's what both of these are competitive seal proposals.
Anybody? Okay. We have a motion. We're going to vote on a motion in a second. All those in favor of the motion signifying by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. Motion carries. F, consider and take action regarding approval of construction procurement method for Paschal Elementary School portable classroom infrastructure development. Ms. Adair. Oh, motion by Ms. Adair, second by Mr. LaFoyle. Ms. Adair.
Dr. Mackey, could you explain what item F is about?
Yes, this is the infrastructure for the Paschal Elementary School that we're adding two portable buildings over there, three portable buildings, two from Hardeman and one from Wagner. And this is the entire infrastructure with the hookup, utilities, and this consists of everything, and we're looking for one hard bid on that.
Thank you, Dr. Mackey. I just didn't have any backup material in the board book, so I just needed to ask for the record.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to need to add portables to Paschal. Is this going to leave? I'm assuming that when we add in a portable, there's size. We have too many students in the school, or
No.
what's the?
No, that's where we're moving the bilingual dual language program from Hardeman to Paschal.
Okay.
Because that's where they belong.
That's where they belong, in that school.
And so they wouldn't be able to fit inside Paschal.
Yes.
Need the portable.
Yes.
And are we going to need any other additional portables?
No, the next step will be looking at redrawing boundary lines with Candlewood.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, no further discussion. All in favor of the motion signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed likewise. Motion carries. I, consider and take action regarding approval of statement of impact submitted by Southwest Preparatory School District Southwest Winners Foundation. Mr.
Need a motion? Motion?
Oh, motion by Mr. Salyer, second by Mr. LaFoyle.
Okay.
Discussion, Mr. Salyer.
My soapbox again, charter schools.
Yes, sir. That's what I thought it was.
The legislature voted today to increase charter schools to 270, 10 a year till 2019. JECA is not a charter school, but if everybody would do what we did in their district, we wouldn't need charter schools. The thing about charter schools, they take money away from public schools. So every month these are on here, I'm going to say no, because we need to start sending a message that that's public school money. And even though charter schools are public schools, they fail every year, a lot of them. So this is my soapbox. If people want to have schools out there and call them charter schools because they have certain social agenda, that's fine, but I don't think the public should pay for them. Thank you.
Any other? Yes. Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Flores.
I want to reiterate what Steve said. I've met with a number of members from school districts throughout the county in our coalition, and we had a meeting with the superintendents. And everybody has seen the ads out there on TV. Charters are coming at us hard. They've targeted Texas. They've targeted San Antonio as where they're really pushing it. You know, public education is better than what they're providing. They don't give you all the hard facts. They don't take special need kids. They don't have certain programs that we have. But they are taking public education money. And it's very important that we let them know. I agree with Steve. We let them know, hey, we're not supporting this. Thank you.
Mr. Salyer.
Yeah, here I go again. Sorry. What Gilbert's saying is that charter schools make a big deal that parents choose the school. That's the biggest fallacy out there is. The charter school chooses the student. That's the truth. You look at these charter schools, there's a list. The parents don't choose the school. The charter school chooses the school. And they get to pick the cream of the crop, the people they want to. At Judson and public schools, every kid is just as equal as any other kid that walks through the door. At charter schools, they're not. They get to pick and choose who they want. So if you have a successful charter school, you know why it's successful? They can pick anybody they want to, screen them, do anything they want. I think that we need to treat every kid that comes to Judson equally, unlike the charter schools. That's one of my big beefs. Y'all need to read up on charter schools and know what that really and truly means. Okay? Charter schools do not have to go by the TEA criteria. They do have to test. They do have to STAR test. You don't even have to have a teacher certificate to teach at a charter school. You do not have to be a certified teacher to be at a charter school. But on the flip side, San Antonio pre-K, the starting salary for a pre-K teacher at San Antonio will be $66,000 a year. I wish we could pay our teachers $66,000 a year. I know Miss McKinney and the other ladies agree with me, right? But a pre-K teacher is going to, in basically this 1/8 cent sales tax, and we don't live in, but we're going to go spend money there. That's going to pay for $66,000 pre-K teachers. This is why this is out of hand. Pre-K belongs in public school, not run by the city. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is my soap, portables, and this is my soapbox. Everybody knows that, so thank you.
Ms. Adair.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. There were just two things that I wanted to add. One, the particular charter school we're voting on tonight is not in our area. It's on Calabra Road, and so it probably will not impact us on Calabra. But more significantly, Dr. Mackey, I don't know if you noticed, they have had signs advertising their charter schools on our campuses and on our property. Do we have to allow that?
Yes.
So, Mr. Fidalia, it's even more serious than you think.
Anytime they on a sidewalk out there in front, it's nothing we can do. Charter schools all over the nation, the entire nation is targeted San Antonio as a hub or study for the nation, and they want charters to take over San Antonio more than any other city in the U.S. So that's one thing that we know that is happening right now.
I agree with Mr. Sellier on this one. I'm sorry, but if we were to vote yes, I guarantee you they would be here real fast trying to open a place in the Judson district. Okay, any other discussion? We're ready to vote?
I have a
Oh, okay,
comment.
go ahead. Yes, sir, we'll do a roll call. Thank you. Mr. Macias.
Yeah, I share your concerns equally. I think that we are charged with providing the best quality education for our children, and charter schools are a threat to that. But I believe that we can actually work together to find methods to improve scores here in this district. But I do want to clarify this agenda item. It's just an announcement, if you will, in terms of there's really, we could vote against it 100% and it's not going to change what is by law. So all we're doing, and just to remind you, we need to take our sentiment to Austin, but basically if we vote for it, I mean, it's just a formality at this point.
For or against?
Yeah, so try not to get that out of context in terms of what that might mean. But anyway, just wanted to throw that back out there. Yeah, sure.
Any other one? Okay, we're going to take a vote by roll call. Mr. LaFoyle. Oh, in here? Oh, what's the difference? He's going to show up there?
No problem. No.
Okay, thank you. Miss Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Macias.
Yes.
Mr. Salinas, no. Miss Williams.
No.
Mr. Sellier.
No.
Mr. Flores. No. Okay, motion fails. 5-2. Okay, let's move on. The next item is discussion items, reports. A, superintendent report.
Yes, next is the Ms. Bear?
Yes.
We're going to talk about the site-based decision-making, please?
Yes. A while back, Ms. Adair asked that we discuss the site-based decision-making team and the roles and responsibilities. I went ahead and I edited the long version and gave you a shortened version of the PowerPoint that we share with every member of the team during our first meeting. And the main areas that you all may be interested in are why does the decision-making team exist? And it is to provide input in the following areas: planning, budgeting, curriculum, staffing patterns, staff development, and school organization. We usually are asked to do one meeting a year, but in the interest of all those areas that we need to address, we have at least 3 meetings scheduled for the year. If we need to have others, we do plan on other meetings as well. I've also identified who the members of this committee are, from the parents, the business members, and the faculty and staff, and what proportion is elected into this committee. Also, since we did talk about waivers, class waivers, it is something that as a committee, we go ahead and listen to those concerns and then share that with the board. I am the designee to meet with the site-based decision-making team. After we meet, I share my comments or their comments with Dr. Mackey, who then in turn meets with you all and provides you updates on what we discussed during the site-based decision-making team. Thank you.
Ms. Adair.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mackey and Ms. Vera. I think it's real important for the board members and the community to realize and recognize that they do have input and that there is a means and there's a device that's set up for them to take their concerns. The schools, starting from elementary through high school, each have a site-based committee. They meet on a regular basis. I have checked. Their meetings are posted. And so I just wanted to encourage the community to utilize the lowest level possible because they can receive more immediate feedback, such as the parents from Hartman. The site-based is where they should start their concern, and the site-based at Hartman will take it to the district level site-based, who will bring it to the board. And sometimes this past year we have found that the community is not utilizing the site-based and not volunteering. The principals have expressed difficulty in getting community members to serve on the site-based. And so I just placed this on the agenda to bring attention to it and to encourage our community to get more involved and utilize our site-based decision-making committees. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yours is the next one.
Okay.
Can we get them involved in the committee too?
I have a good involvement on finance.
Okay, we have an update to policy BDB, local board, internal organization, internal committees, first reading, and this is the one where I had proposed that possibly if we could reorganize those committees to the curriculum with the long range and the building and construction with the finance committee. And this is going to be actually our first reading.
Where is it at, Mr. Salinas? What page? I couldn't find it.
76.
Page 76, ma'am.
The one on the table, Mr. Salinas, is the one on the table the change or the old?
It's the old one.
So on page 76, it appears to be the same. Where's the change? What wording is changed?
He wants to combine 2 and 3.
To tell the board that you wanted to consolidate committees, you had asked to put it on the agenda this month to get the board input on what the first reading would be.
Right.
So it's in your board book, the current policy. A hard copy was placed on your desk so you could write, notate, make all the changes you want, and that is going to be the first reading.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. President, this cannot be the first reading because we still don't have a policy. The first reading, you have to give us can I see yours a minute, Richard? You have to give us a draft policy that we read, and then if we want something changed, then we can change what's there. But again, we don't have a policy for the first reading. If you need
To
some
change
help,
it to the, okay.
if you need some help formulating the policy, please let me know. I'll be happy to work with Ms. Salinas and draft a policy for first reading. But this is not a first reading tonight. I'm sorry.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. We can go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and pull that item, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and just pull that item, and we'll work, you and I and Ms. Perez. Okay, thank you. Is that okay, board? Okay, thank you. Update on board advisory committees. Anybody meet? Oh, finance? Go ahead, sir. Oh, Ms. Adair, I'm sorry.
I'll ask the president or the chair, Mr. Cardosa, to briefly tell us about the finance committee meeting.
He's taking exams, ma'am. What, he needs to go study. Thank you, sir.
We want to really thank you for serving all year.
Good evening,
and
Board.
holding and
Thank you.
scheduling your meetings and working with Mr. Perez on your agendas.
Thank you, Board. We've decided that we're going to go ahead and wait for September to come around. August, I apologize, August. We will be notifying Ms. Pettis on that. And Mr. Elizondo, thank you very much for working us hard and always providing everything we need. Thank you. There's nothing that, he holds back, so we thank you. Just looking to get more people, so please pass that word out. That's why we're going to wait, take the summer off, and hopefully recruit some more people. So thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. E, update on board training, conferences, events, and consider future agenda items requested by board members. Anybody had any training? Oh, okay. Go ahead, sir.
I've met with the coalition, like I said earlier, and the superintendents. We had a pretty productive meeting there as far as how to address the charter school invasion of the San Antonio area. We've got to be proactive, as all the boards throughout the county are really behind this, and that's really about it right now until I think of something else. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Mr. Sally.
Yeah. This is something really cool. Next Thursday, the U.S. Border Patrol is bringing a former wild horse donated to them by the federal government to Ricardo Salinas Elementary School in Universal City, Texas. The children of Salinas Elementary have adopted the horse and named him Rico after Art's son. So if you get a chance Thursday, be over at Salinas Elementary. The horse is going to be there. I don't know what he didn't say what Art's going to be. Art's son was killed in line of duty, U.S. Border Patrol, and he's going to be at the National U.S. Border Patrol Memorial Ceremony in El Paso, so he won't be there. But they're bringing the horse, man. That's pretty cool. And the kid's named him. So if you can make, I don't know what time, but be there. That'll be pretty cool. Thanks. That's it.
Williams.
All right, a couple things to point out, and actually our mayor's kind of touched on some of them. Often this is a thankless job, but my favorite time of the year is graduation. So we have a lot of graduations coming up, and Mr. Suarez, our mayor, did mention last night, I actually attended that graduation as well, and I think that it is just so cool that our kids got their associate's degrees and they don't have their high school diplomas yet. I just think that's a really neat deal. So they're going to have their high school graduation in a week and a half, and we're going to have a lot of our other graduations coming up. So anyone that wants to attend, they're on our calendar, they're on the district calendar. And then anybody that knows me knows how important art is to me, and the art showcase at the mall, the Rolling Oaks Mall, is this week. Yes, it is on the 22nd of May, so this coming Wednesday, between the hours of 6:30 and 8:30. They'll have different performances or demonstrations there, and it's a really, really neat show. It's amazing some of the work that's out there, and I've attended each year. It's been there. It's a great thing. My children come out, so bring your family out. It's a great event. Thank you.
Mr. LaFoyle.
The golf tournament's going along very well. We're down, I think we just need 3 more teams. Thanks to Dr. Mackey and Pat Mahanahan for all the work they're doing on it. The football camp's coming along well. Dr. Mackey's got a lot of money for that, so we're doing great on this. Just remember, get the kids out. That's what we need, the kids out there.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Adair.
I believe the golf tournament is going to be on the 10th.
What?
June 10th.
June 10th?
And the golf tournament is going to be on the 8th and 9th. So we can mark our calendars. And they've already told me I have to be there really early in the morning, sign in on the golf tournament. I'm not a morning person, so we're going to have coffee.
I see you in the morning.
Yeah. He doesn't really see me in the morning. He's just saying all kind of crazy stuff tonight. All right. So for me, the graduation was just outstanding. I sat next to a proud dad, and he was glowing so much that I could just feel the aura around him. He was so proud. And all of our parents for JECA, I want to say a special thank you to them, because that is not an easy task, helping your students stay on target and do their high school work and college work. And some of them were very young. And so that's just an outstanding achievement. For future agenda items, Mr. President, I'd like an agenda item to discuss reboundary of the schools. And then I would also like a future agenda item on personnel calculation of slotting, or is FTEs the proper word? Calculation of FTEs. I'd like to have a small session, and we can even get that information on the FTEs at the budget meeting if you don't mind.
Monday.
Yeah, so that we understand the positions and how they're calculated. I have a little bit of confusion in my mind over that. Also, well, you just said that Monday we have another budget meeting at 6, but want to remind everyone this Friday? When is our retirement thing? Thursday? Next week? So the board, we want to remember to attend the retirement banquet that HR is putting on, put on our calendars, and also if any board members, Mr. Salyer, you could really come because you worked with FFA with your student. They asked me, they're having their awards banquet on the 24th for FFA. So we're getting down to the end, and our calendars are full, and if I missed anything, I apologize. I've had multiple meetings. I'm going to tell, I've missed some SHAC meetings because I had other meetings, but please let me know if there's something I need to do. My heart is still there, but man, we got a lot going on. Thank you, Mr. Salinas.
Mr. LaFoyle.
Dr. Reno made a statement last night that I thought was very interesting. When he says it isn't very often that a child receives a diploma from a college before he gets his high school diploma.
That's pretty cool.
Well, he got an associate degree, right? Mr. Macias. Did you go anywhere, sir, and say anything?
It's been quite a busy time. No, I don't have anything to say at the present.
Dr. Mackey and I attended the Alamo College's, it was like a invitation for a little banquet. I tell you, they're very, very excited. They want to work with all the school districts in the high schools concerning the, I believe it was the dual credit, right, sir? They want more students involved with that, and they want input from the school districts as to how they can help. And one of the suggestions that I made, and Dr. Mackey made some too, was that they said, how can we help in the high schools? I suggested that maybe they needed, when they have a professional development day, to to invite all the teachers from the high school so they can talk about what kind of professional development they need, along with the professors from the junior colleges, so they can work together as to what they can do or what the teachers in the high schools can do so they can work better with the students. It was very, very interesting. As far as the attending the graduation last night, that was just unbelievable. It's the first time, and I'm telling you, I was very, very proud because I was probably one of the first graduates to receive an associate from San Antonio College when I came here from the Valley many, many, many years ago. So to me, it meant a lot for these kids to be getting an associate. The thing is, I couldn't go until after I graduated from high school. These kids are getting an associate. They're going to be juniors in September or August or during the summer. It's just incredible. And a lot of the credit goes to the parents to ensure that those kids were there. I think we had 90 graduates, that received their associate's degrees. That was very, very good. Okay, anybody else? Mr. Gilbert, Mr.
We have
Flores.
Summer Leadership Institute, TASB, on 6th, 7th, and 8th of June. So
Yes, sir.
that's it.
We are required by law to attend the legal update from the legislature, sir, but unfortunately we have graduations that night. I might be in Fort Worth when they do it over there, so I might be attending the one in Fort Worth. Let me see. Region 20 will eventually present it. Yes, they'll send us the date. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, instead of... Okay, we're looking at the calendar for May. Yes. Yes.
I wanted to thank the district and the parent teacher. What's her name? The lady that does the parent advisory, Ms. Thomas. I want to thank Ms. Thomas, Ms. D. Thomas, for the parent advisory conference. I received a lot of positive feedback. The speaker, Dr. Mackey, Dr. McLeod, they were just singing all over the community. And thank you to the district for funding and putting in the time for that for the parents. Thank you.
Mr. LaFoyle. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Monday the 20th, we have a budget work session at 6 p.m. here. We have awards night at Wagner High School on Tuesday, the 21st, 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Ms. Williams mentioned the art extravaganza. We also have the Human Resources Retirement Banquet. Hopefully you did not forget an RSVP because they needed to know. That's on the 23rd at 6:30. And we have Miss Adair, the FFA Awards Banquet, Judson High School Cafeteria at 6:30 Friday. We have JECA graduation, high school graduation. They already graduated from college, but now they're going to do the high school graduation at the PAC at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Then on the 29th of May, we have a budget work session, another one scheduled for 6 p.m. And then on the 30th, Thursday the 30th, we have Spirit of Judson Awards, 5 to 6 at right here in the boardroom. And they also have the Judson High School Awards Night, 6 p.m. at the PAC. Any other dates that you would like to know? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. And then, of course, we have the important dates for graduation. June the 4th, Wagner High School at 7 p.m., and Dr. Mackey will be sending us our information as to the parking or whatever. June the 5th, Judson High School graduation. And I believe the same night they're going to have project graduation. I thought they were supposed to be here tonight. I don't know what happened. And then, board members, don't forget that the following night, Thursday, we have JLA graduation at 7 p.m. at the PAC. And that's when the TASB Summer Leadership Institute begins, but we are finished by 5:30 Thursday. So we'll be able to attend the graduation at the PAC at 7 p.m. Go ahead, sir. $829. You want us to take these chairs? We have no. Yes, thank you. We have no say so. All they collect is. Oh yes, sir. Okay. 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 Before we move on to discussion, consideration of action items, I really, no, let me correct that. We really need to thank our secretary, Ms. Perez. She gets a lot of stuff from the board members, and I'm sorry sometimes we're push you too much, but you're always there. You always get what we need, and we want to thank you for that very, very much. Thank you, ma'am. You're doing a great job. Thank you. It's not easy working with Mr. Salinas, believe me. Okay, by the way, she was my ex-student at one time. Number 6, discussion, consideration of action items. B, action item A has been pulled. B, consideration take possible action regarding approval of contracts for professional educators for the 2013-2014 school year. Wait. Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Motion by Mr. Salyer, second by Ms. Williams. Okay. Closed session. Okay. The board will be convening. This board will. At the end? You want to do it at the end? Okay. Okay. Hold the motion, sir. Okay. Yes, okay. They've been withdrawn, ma'am. We're going to go item C. Consider and take possible regarding approval of fast-tracking hiring of teachers. We have a motion by Mr. LaFoyle, second by Mr. Flores. Discussion. Ms. Adair.
Dr. Mackey, can you explain what that means?
Ms. Adair, the authority to fast track is given to Dr. Mackey to approve all teacher contracts without prior board approval. So basically what we're going to recommend in accordance with TASB's recommendation is that the superintendent be given that authority to do that throughout the year. This is just for teachers so that we do not have to withhold teachers from classroom assignments. Sometimes the hiring process can take over 30 days, and it means that kids go without certified teachers. And so the goal and effort here is, as we would normally do in the past every summer, we have been granted the authority from May to September to fast track. We are now asking for that permission for year-round authority to hire the teachers into our classrooms as needed.
Mr. Macias.
Okay. Our agenda item has a rationale of fast-tracking teachers so that we can keep them from going to other positions elsewhere. But my understanding is that if there is another position that they're competing with, and if we offer the job, but the other job offers more money, they can leave anyway. Is that correct, or?
That would be incorrect, because once a professional educator in the state of Texas signs a contract, so this would be giving us the ability to make the offer and have a contract signed before another district can take them from us. They are not allowed to sign with another district if they have already signed with us.
So one of the reasons for leaving employment, is it for higher salaries?
Absolutely.
So they could leave then?
No. I'm sorry, once under contract? No. Once under contract, they can only leave if they receive a promotion, if there's a hardship, or a very extenuating circumstance.
So salary increase wouldn't be one of the
Not
variables?
necessarily. It has to be an actual promotion.
Okay. Because I'm just trying to understand if that's a benefit in terms of utilizing this process. What's the practice for us in the past? We've fast-tracked, I know, in the past, and we've done it for just a short period of time, or you mentioned something about extending it. What's been the practice?
Absolutely. The prior practice for Jetson has been fast-tracking throughout the summer months, so it has been the normal process for the board to grant that authority in May through September to get us through the peak hiring season. The recent audit or review that we went through with TASB identified that many districts in the state, especially as districts are growing in larger districts, they grant that authority to the superintendent year-round so as not to delay the process of getting teachers into the classroom or losing our opportunity for good teachers. One of their assessments was to evaluate our ability to recruit and retain really good teachers, and they found that this is a weakness in our recruiting ability to not be able to offer a contract at the time of job offer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll yield the floor. I'll let someone else talk.
Okay. Yes, because I want to come back in a minute. Miss, you say Miss Williams? Oh, Miss Adair, I'm sorry. I thought you had over. Oh, go ahead. Okay. I can, can I say? Oh, no,
No,
never
you
mind.
can't. You can.
Okay. Critical needs. At one time, we did for critical needs. Now, I do understand what TASB recommended. Go ahead and hire them, sign the contract, and later on, we'll get those contracts for approval. It's just a matter that instead of them having to wait, well, you have to wait till the board approves it, and then you'll be okay. But now we're saying, go ahead, you'll be working for us, and sign your contract. Is that correct?
Well, yes and no. We will be issuing, if this is granted, we would be issuing the contract upon the time that we make the job offer. You would no longer go through the process of approving, but you would be reviewing the superintendent's approvals of those contracts.
But my understanding is by law, the board has to approve all contracts. Is that correct?
That is correct.
When are we going to approve them?
However, you may grant that authority
Oh,
to the superintendent.
Okay,
right.
okay. I'm sorry.
And we're only asking for that for teaching positions only. No professionals, no administrative. Those would still come to you for board approval. This is just for teaching positions.
Oh, okay. And critical needs.
And critical needs, it would be all teachers, not just critical
I'm sorry.
needs.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm having some senior moments. Okay. Any other? Oh, Miss Boone. Miss Adair, I'm sorry.
Yes. Just to bring clarity, in the past, the board has authorized approval of fast-track hiring during the summer months when we have a high number of employees leaving, retiring, accepting other jobs, and we have quite a few openings. And so that's been limited to May to September. Is that what you stated? And what the request is tonight is for the board to release their contract approval authority to the superintendent year-round. And what other districts
Year-round?
in the San Antonio area do this?
I don't have those exact figures, but I can get them to you, or those districts, but there are several.
Okay. I can't support this tonight. I can support the May to September that we've been approving in the past. I don't want to feel as if I'm relieving myself of any of my responsibility as a board member by not reviewing the contracts and voting on them. I can only speak for myself. I'll be more than happy anytime there's a need to have a special board meeting just to approve some type of emergency contracts, but I don't think I can't support it year-round without knowing there are other sister districts in the San Antonio area that are utilizing this method.
Mr. Macias.
I guess I could support areas that are critical need areas like science and math. I understand those teacher positions are harder to recruit and retain, and so we want to give the district the ability to bring in those talented teachers or those areas in hard or critical areas. So I could see a compromise in terms of giving the superintendent authority for those critical areas. But for all teachers, I feel that that is part of our duty to look over those and approve those contracts at a meeting. So I'd like to hear what some of my colleagues think on that. But
I can support an amendment for science and math, Mr.
Mr. Sally.
Yeah, I guess, Dr. Mackey, I question you and Ms. Howard here. Let me understand, what you're asking for is the power of the superintendent to vote, to hire any teacher, but once a contract's signed, the board cannot revoke it?
That's correct.
No. Once the teacher signs it, they can.
Once the teacher signed it, the board
Yes.
cannot revoke
Yes.
it. It's binding.
That's correct.
And this is for all teachers across the board. I got a little trouble with that. I trust Dr. Mackey and Ms. Howard, but that's kind of giving away the board the power the check and balance. I think that's my problem. I think the board, I trust Dr. Mackey and Ms. Howard, but we got to have a check and balance. I think it's a good idea, but we're about oversight and checks and balances now. You come to me and say, we need this for math teachers or science teachers or something, I'll vote 100%, but I really have a problem with carte blanche. It's nothing against Dr. Mackey or Ms. Howard. It's our responsibility as a board of a check and balance. And all teachers are not critical, right? We don't have critical at all. Okay, thanks.
Ms. Williams.
Thank you. I would actually echo a lot of what Steve just said, but my follow-up question would be, if it's okay to Ms. Howard and Dr. Mackey, what are our critical care needs? Because we say math and science because that's what we think of. Is that the only area? Is there others? What does, if we were to amend this?
Math, science, special ed, bilingual.
Okay, give me that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Math, science, special ed, and bilingual.
Foreign languages
And foreign language.
were added last year.
Bilingual, special ed.
Yes.
What else?
Foreign languages,
language.
math, and science.
Motion to amend.
Go ahead.
That we do math, science, bilingual,
Special
ed,
foreign language.
and is there anything else?
No.
Well, that is what the state designates as critical needs. However, I can tell you with regard to the hiring practices here in Judson, it's also a concern for us to be able to make an offer and retain a CTE teacher, both at middle school and high school. They are extremely hard to get a hold of, and when we lose them quickly.
Here's what I want to do, and add CET. Got that, Jackie? Got it on? To give the superintendent the, what's the correct wording?
For May through September.
Huh?
The authority to fast track.
Authority to fast track. May through September. Hiring of these critical to December 31st, 2013. I just want to let him do it, and I want to see how it works. December 31st, 2013. There's not a problem. I don't have them, but I want to do a trial.
Can we do May to September?
Nah, because I think the reason I want to do, I know what you're saying, Beth, but I want to give it a good 6 months, and here's why. Because we don't know what our critical mass is going to be September 1st.
Sure. Okay.
Right? Because we pretty much know where we're going to be December 31st because the school year's half over.
Okay.
So let's do this to December 31st. Like I said, I trust you guys, but it's just, I have a heartache with the checks and balances. I'll second that.
Yeah.
We have an amendment and a second to the amendment. Discussion. Please, Edia.
Yes, sir. Discussion on the amendment only. I would ask Dr. Mackey if I can address Ms. Howard. Out of those 6 areas, we don't have any data. I know those are the 6 areas that the state says is critical, but I would really be interested to know how many of those areas do you have applications pending in your HR personnel files for people that hold those specialties that want employment? Because I received some phone calls from teachers, especially when we did the switch over from SearchSoft or something to, what is it called now? Talent Ed. And they said, well, we've been trying to get into Judson, for several years, and, I told them to go to the Judson website, and that's when they said, they weren't told that it had changed and their application was no longer there. So, Steve, I agree with you, critical, but the board doesn't really know. We're making an off-the-cuff. We don't really know. I haven't heard any report to the board this last year that we were having difficulty in hiring any of these positions. I heard we were having difficulty in bus drivers. No, which positions do we have difficulty?
Special ed.
CTE and special ed. Those are
Occupational
always.
health.
Yeah.
Math and science, didn't we fill them?
No, Mr. Dare, Mr.
Mr.
Dare,
Science every month.
Every year.
there's a difference from filling a job and finding quality, and we're looking for quality because we lose so much quality because we wait so long, and then we get less quality teachers, and then we wonder why scores are not going up because we're losing them by waiting, and they're going and taking different jobs. If we're going to find quality, if we get a real good teacher that we can hire, we have to move on that person because they'll go to another job. And that's what's happened. In my 6 years being here, I've seen that happen every year. We lose tons of quality teachers because we're trying to wait 30 days, and quality teachers, people take that day. I mean, they can go anywhere. So we can tie them down. That's what we're trying to do.
Dr. Mackey, are you aware, does Northside utilize this method of
I don't.
allowing the superintendent? Does any board member know of any other district in the city
I don't know about in the
that
city.
utilizes, that the board has relinquished their approval of the contract?
I don't know about in the city, but everywhere I've ever been, it's been that way. It hasn't been any change in every district that I've ever worked in.
Yeah, I'm not familiar of it being done here. But thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Selye.
Yeah, I don't know the law, but you tell me this. In medicine, like you work at a hospital, to be credentialed, sometimes it takes 90 days to get you credentialed. So they'll give you like a temporary credentials. Can we give a provisional contract? And it's got to be a solid contract. And I know what Dr. Mackey's trying to do. He's trying to do the right thing here. Is when someone walks in the door and they're qualified, there's 1,600 school districts that want a qualified teacher. And I don't want to miss out on qualified people, but it's just that check and balance that's got me.
You can't hold them, you can't bind them by them.
You can't buy, yeah, it's a contract.
You know, they can go somewhere else. So, hey, I got more money.
I guess my other question to the board is too, how many people do we actually not give a contract to once we make a recommendation? How many?
Probably this year alone, we've probably done that with at least 15 candidates. What happens is that, we make the job offer,
Right.
the initial offer, then they have to wait till whenever the next board meeting is, and they would show up the next day for orientation. We've had approximately, I think almost 15 this year that don't show for orientation. We called to follow up, and they took a job with somebody else.
Take a job somewhere else.
You finished, sir?
I just want to hear what the rest of the board thinks. I trust Dr. Mackey and Ms. Howard. It's that check and balance, but we're I'm torn myself, I guess, because checks and balance are important. But yet, you're right. We're going to lose people because if Northeast or North Side offers a job the same day, they're going to take the job. They don't care where they teach. New teachers and good teachers. They're looking for money and they're looking for a job, and they're going to sign. Thank you.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to disagree with you all because I worked part-time in HR when I used to work after I retired. It is very important when we interview a candidate and we know that it's a qualified candidate and we tell them, okay, yes, we can offer you a job, but by the way, the board won't meet until 3 weeks from now. You know what they'll tell you? Oh, okay. I'll guarantee you, the moment they leave here, they're going to be interviewing somewhere else because they're looking for a job. June, July, those 2 months are very, very important. I think we need to support the recommendation of the administration, although I agree with you, let's do it until September, not only on critical, but I think, and it was a recommendation by TASB, we asked for an audit, we got an audit, they gave us a recommendation. One of them was, you all just need to not approve them, let the HR hire. We will be losing a lot of new incoming teachers if we don't offer them a contract. And if you just want to do it until December, let's see how it works, fine. But don't eliminate the regular teachers that are going to be coming to Judson. As I was walking the streets, I ran into two of them and said, we're looking forward to applying at Judson as soon as we finish in May. And, definitely, you need to go apply. And if they're going to come over here, and we're going to tell them, well, I'm sorry, because the next board meeting is not until June the 20th, I think. We might be losing some good candidates. So please, let's go ahead and take the recommendation of the superintendent with the recommendation of the amendment that you made, sir, till December 31st.
The motion.
And
I want to withdraw my motion.
I'm
to
sorry?
amend. I'm withdrawing my motion to amend.
Okay, you're going to withdraw the motion to amend, okay?
I-
Yeah, okay. Because I think,
Well, I'm going to withdraw the second, then I'll have to take the motion.
Thank you.
I'll withdraw the second.
okay. So I hope, and because I'm saying this because I'm an ex-educator and I dealt with HR, so please do not limit Dr. Mackey from having the opportunity to go ahead and, well, not Dr. Mackey, HR, to go ahead and, because they're going to be the interviewing, if they see a good candidate, hire them.
Then what's your motion?
That's, so please, don't take that away from the recommendation. We can add or amend or whatever for until the end of May, until the end of September or October. But we need this. If we're going to bring the best, let's go ahead so they can have that authority. Thank you. Mr. Flores.
And I guess I'd like to make the motion to extend this recommendation for fast-track hiring of critical need teachers to include CTE teachers? Yeah. Well, no, I want to limit this. I want the motion that he had. I want to limit it to December. I know that. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, no, I just want to do the critical need teachers and
December 31st.
to December 31st.
For everybody.
Yes. And critical needs teachers. Those that were math, science, bilingual, foreign, and special needs. Yes. Okay. Now I want to speak on that. I want to call for the motion on it. We've discussed it enough. Thank you. You know, we've been talking about this thing for 20 minutes now. It's the same thing that we've been discussing about giving him the authorization on till December, because we know that we're going to need to hire these people from now until hopefully September. But after that, other people will be leaving and putting in their resignations to leave in December, and we'll be needing to fill those positions. And we, you know, it's only fair that we give them that 6-month opportunity to be able to go forward and hire those people in those positions, because we're going to lose a lot of people. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to try to add a fresh wrinkle to it. I want to be sensitive to the fact that we are kind of beating this a little bit, but I do have a couple of questions that haven't been asked. You mentioned about 15 professionals that we may have lost. That's not a catastrophic number of teachers. It's 15 teachers, and we have almost how many teachers employed with the district?
At this time, 1,400 teachers.
Okay, so we're talking 15 that we've impacted right now. So that's really minuscule. Secondly, we're going to go into closed session to talk about contracts, and I want to know how those contracts that we're going to approve and discuss, how this would impact that going forward. We have the agenda item B, to consider and take possible action to approve.
You wouldn't need to go do that.
Huh?
You wouldn't need
We wouldn't need to do that. So we would basically be.
That is not accurate.
So explain what that
Okay,
situation
there
would
is
be
a
now.
difference.
Okay.
The renewal process is a completely different process than the hiring process for a contract. And so what we're looking at here as far as the hiring process is the ability to put those employees that we make an offer to. Now remember, we can't make an offer to a certified educator who is not certified in the field that they are being, the position that they're being hired for, and that they are not already under contract with another district. So there's some criteria that we have to meet by the state in order to even make that offer. And then subsequently for the superintendent to make the recommendation. You mentioned that 15 professionals is no big deal. I would beg to differ, and you could ask principals in our district or kids sitting in classrooms with non-certified substitute teachers for 30 days what impact that makes upon their learning. Right now, to be quite honest, the critical need of the district today, not according to the state, is for elementary school teachers. We have more vacancies in elementary right now than we do at secondary. The ability to retain those elementary teachers at the time that we can during the peak hiring season is critical. I don't think that there's a principal or a parent out there that doesn't want a certified teacher in that classroom as soon as possible. Right now, yes, they're not going to be in the classroom in June and July. But that's when we can get them under contract. Teachers across the state have until the 14th of July to make notice, and so that means that they can resign without penalty. And so we don't even know the depth of our shortages yet until that cutoff date.
Okay, and to address Mr. Salinas' point, when someone is applying for a job, they're not going to just apply at Judson. I know I love Judson, but they're going to be applying everywhere. So you always have that issue where they may take a position with someone else. It's not unique. It's just part of looking for a job. So I think we'll always encounter that problem, even if you guys were to be given the authority. If they're looking for other work, they may have to make a choice and leave anyway. So I do want to amend this motion. I'd like to give administration the ability to fast track math and science. That would be, in my opinion, of what is important in the district for right now. And there's no time limit for the year, math and science.
Second. My discussion on the amendment is two sentences. One, the legislature has given us that authority. They've deemed that it's necessary for us to do that. Two, if we give them a contract on math and science, which I will support that, there's no purpose of having a time limit of December because we can't revoke their contract. So in December, it doesn't matter. You can't revoke it. They get the contract, they're good for the year. I know. I just wanted to make sure that the board understood that the contract is for the year.
But we're not doing that for the contract. We're giving for the authority for them to fast track offering the contract. One thing off the contract, we know we can't.
I just wanted to state it for the record. That was all. I'm done.
Okay,
Ms. Williams.
Thank you. I don't support the amendment for just math and science. We have our professional staff here saying what their critical needs are for this district. Quite frankly, I don't care what the state's critical needs are. I care about what Judson's are. And if this is what they're saying is critical needs, there's a time limit on it till December. I would support the first amendment, not the second one, because to say just math, okay, well, I'm talking about the first or second, whatever, however many. Yes, I can't support it because for us to limit that, I don't feel that I have the knowledge to say that just math and science when we have our professional staff here saying that we have more than just math and science. So I won't support
Mr.
this.
Selya.
okay. Let's all back up here a minute. We're stacking this stuff. Here, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. I think, don't jump on me, June, for what I'm going to say. We need to get rid of all these mission and go back to the very first what's on the agenda and limit it to December 31st. Now, that's not a motion. I just think we should back up here because what Ms. Howard just said is our critical need is elementary school teachers, and our motion to amend, it doesn't include elementary school teachers. So let's just, everybody withdraw, my suggestion.
I'll withdraw my motion,
everybody withdraw
Mr. Selya.
everything, and let's go back and do a trial to December 31st. Okay, now, we need a motion for that, right? Everybody withdraw? Okay, we're on, okay, let's vote on.
I'll withdraw mine then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine.
Then we're back to the original.
Let's move the clock back
Okay.
to...
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Salinas, let's do this. Make sure that all motions to amend are off the table.
Right.
Let me make a motion to amend. That we limit, no, we have to. We have to do a motion to amend. We have to do a trial to December 31st. That will be able for June and everyone to get data on what we're doing. It also allows the administration to hire carte blanche through December 31st, through the summer, into the fall, and on January 1st, in January, we can re-extend this if it works out fine. I'm not saying this is a bad idea. What I'm saying is I have a problem with the oversight as a responsibility of this board. It's not a distrust of Dr. Mackey or Ms. Howard, but I want to limit it to make sure it's working. That's my amendment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Okay, we have an amendment and a second to the original motion, right?
Yes.
To consider possible action regarding approval of fast tracking. Okay. And, discussion?
I was waiting for you to get to me. I just want to make sure we're clear then on what that measurability will be. We might as well make it very apparent to Dr. Mackey and HR what we will be evaluating December 31st. What would you? Yeah, what would we evaluate to see if this is working or not working?
Well, you want me to answer that or Ms. Howard to answer that?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, here's what I want, okay? Obviously, we're going to be able to see how many teachers we get on same-day contracts, you know? Okay. We're not going to measure, because we're given the contracts, we will not be able to measure how many people went to other school districts because we're given a contract. So the end measurement on December 31st is what our slotted allowable teachers are and what slots they're in. If this works to fill those slots, like right now we have a critical shortage, what will measure, does this work to fill not only critical shortages, but our average, well, I don't want to say average, no average teachers, okay, our elementary school teachers, you know what I mean? If our numbers, if our fill rate of our slots is up there, well, then this works. It works. And if they do this and we have no problems with the teachers they're bringing in, because the attempt here is to bring higher quality teachers, that's our measurement, is where we're at December 31st with our staffing against empty. That's our only measurement.
So it sounds like a retention would be then that measurability.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So
Retention's a measurement,
an
right,
issue
Ms. Howard?
for us, right? We've had trouble with retaining some of our talented
No, because
people.
he just said this doesn't apply to retention.
Well, retention of the recruited
The ones that
professionals.
signed the contract. Are the ones that signed the contract, they didn't go somewhere else. Okay.
Well, let me ask Ms. Howard, what would be a good measurability if this is effective, in your opinion?
Absolutely. One of the things that I can provide you is that we will survey every employee that signs a contract with us if they have received other job offers within the same time frame that they received our job offer. That'll communicate to you whether or not we just have a perceived threat or an actual threat from other districts of stealing candidates out from us. Another thing that I will provide for you, as I do every month, is a continued report that you will receive a reporting from the superintendent of every teacher who is hired and their years of service, as I've always presented to you. In addition to that, I will also provide you a turnaround rate. So basically, we will start assessing how quickly, from the time that we make the interview to the time that I can make the offer, to demonstrate to the school board by giving us this authority how quickly we are getting them under contract. So I'd be more than happy to provide that to you on a monthly basis to December.
Mr. Flores.
Call for the question.
A call for the question? No, I still have more questions. I got more questions.
He's on to you now.
No. So my question then would be, the survey doesn't seem concrete. I mean, a survey is opinion to me, and opinions are great, and I like opinions. But when you're trying to really evaluate data, you want to look beyond just opinions. You want to see if we're retaining that quality teacher, for one. I guess that would be a number one check mark. Surveying them to see if they were offered other jobs. I mean, I'm going to assume that since they're looking for work, that they probably were already offered other jobs. I can feel safe with that. If you're looking for work, you're putting it out there. You're not going to just be applying to one district and that's it. I mean, you're going to be looking. So I don't know. I like that you made an attempt to put down something that would be quantifiable, but I don't know if that's the strongest thing. And we're going to be essentially ceding our authority as a board to administration And that's just not strong enough, especially when I understand that we don't know what the other districts are doing, if this is something that they've done or they've seen success in doing. I would hope that you guys would get that analysis to say, this works and we got to do it. But I haven't heard that today. And so I just cannot be comfortable with moving forward with it.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. Call for the question. Okay, we're ready to vote. Okay. Oh, nobody's talking, so we're ready to vote, sir. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, go ahead and put it up there, sir. We're voting on number... Oh, on the amendment first and then everything. Okay. All those in favor of the amendment... Ms. Perez, can you read the amendment? Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead and vote. Five, two. The amendment passes. Now we got to vote. Okay. Set it up again, Dr. Mike. Thank you, sir. Vote. The original amendment with the amendment with the original motion. Right. Oh, yes. Oh. Yes, thank you. Okay, 5-2 passes. Okay, we need to move on to item D. Consider and take possible action regarding approval of the recommended 2013-2014 annual salary increases and midpoint salary adjustments. Motion by Mr. Flores, second by Ms. Williams. I'm sorry, sir. Okay.
Dr. Mackey, can you make this work?
Oh. Discussion. Ms. Adrian.
Thank you. I would like some specifics on this motion. Dr. Mackey, I have the information you provided us in the board book. So the annual salary increases, are these all of the things that the TASB audit recommended? I will not be able to support that large of an increase, and we have not looked at the budget. I think this is putting the cart before the horse. We have no idea of all of the other areas where we're going to need to spend money. We heard from Hartman overcrowding, and to vote for, what is the total amount of this item, the dollar figure? $405,474, and the board has not received specific data on the budget, how much money we have in the various departments and the other needs. And so, you know, we want to give our employees salary that equates to what they're worth in the marketplace, but I think this motion is premature prior to discussion at a budget meeting.
Mr. Macias.
I move that we table this until we have further discussion on the budget.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to table. We go ahead and take a vote.
Discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion.
Yes. I don't, not saying it's a bad idea. I mean, it may be actually a very good idea. I just feel that we probably need more budgetary discussion on the matter before we make a decision on tonight. So I just want to be clear on that.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and vote. To table. Right. No, I'm coming. We're waiting for you, sir. But Right. No, yes. Okay, Dr. Good. The motion, the table fails. Right. Oh, okay, back to the original motion. Okay. Discussion on the original motion, anybody?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I request to go into closed session to discuss specific salary increases that pertain, and even though there are positions, people would be able to identify personnel by the position. And so I would like to take this into closed session.
Along with B.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay, we go to E. Huh? So we go to B and D. Okay. Oh. This board will now adjourn into closed session pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Discuss personnel 551.074. We leave at 9:26. We go to closed session. Back from executive session at 10. Let the record reflect we came back at 10:18. No vote or action was taken while in executive session. We now continue with our regular board meeting. We are going to start with item. Oh, okay. The motion on the floor was D. Consider and take possible action regarding approval of recommended 2013-2014 annual salary increase and midpoint salary adjustments. We had a motion on that and a second, right? Okay, can we go ahead? Oh, do we have? Okay, let's go ahead and do D. We'll come back to B in a minute. Oh, yes, we're voting. D, the midpoint salary. One abstention and 6 yeses. Abstention by Ms. Adair. Okay, let's go to item B. Consider and take possible action regarding approval contracts for professional educators for the 2013-2014 school year. Do I have a motion? Right? Motion. Oh, motion you did, sir? No. Motion by Mr. LaFoyle, second by Mr. Sellier. Okay, no discussion. All those in favor? Oh, never mind. Go ahead and vote. Okay, motion carries. E, consider and take possible action regarding approval of recommended 2013-2014 teacher, nurse, librarian step increase, option 1, 2, and 3, and we're going with option number 3. Motion by Mr. Sellier on number 3, second by Mr. Flores. Discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
how much is that dollar figure for option 3?
Option 3 will reflect a $1.9 million budget increase.
And I'll beat Mr. Macias, and where will that money come from? I relinquish the floor, Mr. Macias.
Okay, can you be a little more specific when you say budget?
Yes, we have a budget of between $200 and $212 million. Right at this time, after visiting and looking at what the legislators are going to do, And what we've been doing in the past, we feel like we can meet that need of that $1.9 million within our budget.
So we should see then you're projecting an increase from the state of about how much?
No increase.
You indicated that we might see an increase from the state
Yes,
to pay, so how
yes,
much?
1.9 to 6.2 million.
Okay, so that increase
would cover that.
would cover
Yes,
this increase.
that's correct. We have the Equity Center and Moak and Casey been running our numbers for us right now, and we see that there's going to be an increase.
Now, will that put us above that magic percentile that we're trying to keep? You know what number I'm talking about, right?
No.
Okay, so it'd keep us. Well, not in terms of ranking, but I'm talking in terms of percentage of our budget. 79, 80, 81, 82%. So it would still keep us within that.
It'll be like 80, 81%. We're 79.
Okay.
When you talk about $1.9 million out of $200 million budget, it could be a 1 to 1.5%.
Okay. Thank.
Okay, you can go ahead and vote. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Ada. Yeah, I know. That's all right.
Dr. Mackey, on our board book on page 98, there was a little bit of confusion because the agenda item that we're voting on now is at the top of 98, but then the recommendation reflected that the board approved the stipend recommendation. On page 98.
Yet, ma'am.
I know, but I'm on page 98. What page is this on? Look on 98. Okay, the recommendation under the agenda item says the school board approved the Judson stipend recommendation. I don't know. What does 102 say? 102 says the school board approved the Judson stipend recommendation. So for clarity, Dr. Mackey, I just want to be clear that the superintendent of the administration is recommending the board approve option number 3. Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, let's go ahead and take a vote. Motion carries. Item F. Consider and take possible action regarding approval of Judson ISD stipend list for 2013-2014 fiscal year. Motion by Mr. LaFoyle, second by Mr. Macias. Discussion. Go ahead, ma'am.
Just want to state, Dr. Mackey, this stipend recommendation that you've given us tonight is the same stipend that the employees received in this current school year. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item G. Consider and take possible action regarding approval of personnel report and updates, including new hires, resignations, and administrative appointments. Motion by Mr. LaFoyle, second by Ms. Williams. Okay, discussion.
Dr. Mackey, for the record, for the upcoming year, we're already voting on this. My understanding after speaking with you about retirement, when we include this stipend, the money in stipends, it's not counted toward the employee's retirement. And is that correct?
No.
Which one are you looking at now?
The stipend is not counted toward the employee's retirement?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
It counts, no, I'm in personnel.
F or G?
I'm in G, because we already voted to approve the stipend. This is a personnel question. Is the monies that we've approved tonight, are they included in the calculation for retirement? Okay, because the employees were asking if when we do personnel, if they could have the money as part of their salary versus stipend, it would increase their retirement.
No. She's talking
No, I'm
about.
talking about for their retirement. Like we took Dr. Mackey's and we put it in his base pay.
Okay.
So if you would just look at that, Dr. Mackey, for the future, and if you're saying it goes, and your allowances. Right.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt, but that's not an item we can discuss in open session.
Okay, I don't want to discuss Dr. Mackey's, but I'm asking Dr. Mackey to look into stipends and retirement for the employees for the future, so we can talk about it at the budget.
Is that part of the doesn't
Personnel.
That go part of their salary? So that goes to PRS. So that's part
They
of
said it's not. So Dr. Mackey's going to check. He's going to check.
It has to. It has to go to PRS. No, we haven't voted. No. Okay, let's go ahead and vote on the personnel report. Masir, wake up. Motion carries 7-0. Therefore, this, oh, wait a minute. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.